Out we go. Before you even throw the punches, your stance must be right as far as your pivot. You start off with your pivot, get on your pivot, and it's light. The jab goes like this. This is exactly how the jab goes. Jab.
Counterpunching. But overall, I have to say Crawford. If you go down the list and ask me about tactical advantages, most of them are Crawford.
Terence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez, a legacy-defining showdown. When Terence "Bud" Crawford steps into the ring against Saul Canelo Alvarez, it won't just be a fight. It'll be a moment where legacy, risk, and greatness collide. This isn't just about belts or titles, this is about history, Mayweather's visit and tactical insight. Floyd Mayweather recently visited Crawford's training camp, sharing the very blueprint he used to beat Canelo in 2013. His advice:
you bring the hook with it, you can go to the body, jab, just double jab, triple jab,
Speed, slick defense, precision counterpunching, and strategic pivots. Before a punch is thrown, Mayweather emphasized, the stance must be perfect. It starts with the pivot, followed by a sharp jab, light, fast, and efficient. Get on your pivot. The jab goes like this. Exactly like this. Jab. Double jab. Triple jab. These subtle lessons from Mayweather, combined with Crawford's own IQ, could be critical when facing a seasoned powerhouse like Canelo. Canelo's psychological warfare. Canelo hasn't minced words.
The last fighters that you fought, they ain't on my level. And
I fought everybody.
The last fighters you fought since 2002.
Mention me one. You mention me one elite fighter. Just one.
You.
Oh, me.
Look,
it's gonna be me.
I don't care about nobody else.
And you will see that.
You. So when I beat you, is you gonna be a nobody? When I stuff a mud hole in your ass, is you gonna be a nobody? Same everybody else been saying since I moved to 147, I ain't fought nobody. Every last one of them stump a mud hole in their ass and he gonna be next. Watch.
Live, only on DAZN, June 28th. Jake Paul versus Chavez Jr. Buy now at DAZN.com/boxing.
At a recent press conference, he downplayed Crawford's resume, arguing that Bud has yet to face anyone of his caliber. Name one elite fighter you faced, just one. Crawford answered with confidence. You. And when I beat you, what will that make you? A nobody. This exchange wasn't just for show. Canelo's comments are calculated to plant seeds of doubt, to remind fans of the gap in size, experience, and opposition. It's part of the fight outside the ring. Analyst breakdown, skill versus strength.
Best jab.
Crawford.
Best defense.
Crawford. Nowadays, Crawford. I would say early in the fight, Canelo. And earlier in his career, Canelo. But he hasn't been that kind of fighter in recent years. Although Crawford is also hittable. With any fighter, when you talk about their defense, the question is not, can they be hit with a shot? You take punches. Everyone, the greatest defensive fighters ever get hit. Pernell Whitaker, Willie Pep, Floyd Mayweather, they all get hit. The question is, can you hit them with combinations? And both guys are hard to hit. With the two-piece, hard to hit.
So who has the best footwork out of the two?
In terms of cutting off the ring, last fight notwithstanding, Canelo has gotten much better at cutting off the ring. But, early in his career, he had a problem with that and was much more comfortable counterpunching. But overall, I have to say Crawford. If you go down the list and ask me about tactical advantages, most of them are Crawford. What Canelo has is size. Size and, as a result, physical strength and punching power. Canelo also has a great chin. A great chin. But in terms of, if you want to go skill for skill, especially the recent version of Canelo, who's had to turn into a seek and destroy guy, who had to learn as his career went on to cut off the ring and not just follow guys around. Like Lara, Trout, Floyd, he followed those guys around. He had trouble because he's really a natural counterpuncher who wants you to come to him.
Kellerman provided a razor-sharp analysis. Best jab, Crawford. Best defense, Crawford. Best tactical intelligence, Crawford. Best chin and power, Canelo. Footwork, edge to Crawford, although Canelo has improved over time in cutting off the ring. While Canelo has size, strength, and durability, Crawford brings elite adaptability. His ability to read opponents mid-fight and make adjustments.
People with Canelo before Canelo's last fight, but then after Canelo's last fight, it seems like it's more 50-50 now. So everything is just the build-up for that fight is just going to be absolutely magnetizing. Like that fight, it's garnered so much more buzz after Canelo's last fight, and Bud is Bud. He's one of the greatest fighters in boxing history. He is one of the greatest fighters in boxing history. So it's going to be a fight. It's going to be awesome to watch.
Have you sparred any of them?
I haven't sparred Bud yet. I haven't been in Canelo's camp. I've met Canelo a few times. I love Canelo's team. Canelo's one of my favorite fighters. He's been my favorite fighter for the longest time. But you know, I have to be Team Bud because me and Bud are cool, and I have so much belief in Bud, and I know who he is as a fighter. He is one of the greats. So he could do anything he wants.
And being around both of them and seeing how they work and train and things like that, what makes both of them the fighters they are, in your opinion?
I've watched Bud, so for Bud in particular, he's calm in everything he does, and that kind of calm is scary to watch because it shows experience. You can see that he's been doing this for decades.
Has made him one of boxing's most complete fighters. Support from boxing royalty. Even Nico Ali Walsh, Muhammad Ali's grandson, praised Crawford's calmness and professionalism, calling it scary calm. That kind of calm shows experience. Bud's been doing this forever. Other pros, like Jarrell Miller and Edgar Berlanga, have backed Crawford's heart and hunger, noting that greatness often requires stepping into the unknown. Canelo's
smaller guy, and why do I need to fight this guy? For you, what changed? Tell me about the moment where you're like, you know what? Maybe I'll do this. This sounds like a good idea.
No, if you're thinking about it, look how big turns this fight. It's a big fight. No, that's why made me change. But you know, I've been in his situation before, jumping weight classes, and when you're a good fighter, that doesn't matter. So I'm not gonna focus on that. I'm gonna focus on training very hard because Crawford is very good fighter.
Yeah, tell me about your experience with that, because now it's reversed. He's coming up in weight. What could be dangerous? What aren't we seeing that maybe you see in this fight?
No, everything. He's a good fighter. Obviously, I know that, and I need to be careful. I need to be careful in everything.
Respectful approach. Despite the trash talk, Canelo has acknowledged Crawford's skill. When you're a good fighter, weight doesn't matter. I'm going to train hard because Crawford is a very good fighter. He's been here before, jumping weight classes, taking risks. Now, it's Crawford's turn. The X factor, size or skill? The biggest question is physicality. Canelo has fought bigger men, Bivol, Kovalev, Billy Joe Saunders.
And Canelo uses his legs, he uses his core, and then his neck itself to lift up Bivol like Bivol was a featherweight. That is a huge representation of how strong Canelo is. When you look at his workouts, you can tell why he was able to do that. All these damn neck exercises that I wouldn't dare do. Okay, that stuff looks painful. The squatting and all that stuff that he's doing is exactly why Canelo Alvarez, honestly, is a strong fighter. He tried to do it again with William Skull. William Skull shook out of it, but he is a bull. Listen, Terence Bud Crawford is strong. He is, okay? And he understands leverage, and he understands those things because he wrestled. Honestly, very true. But Saul Canelo Alvarez is also extremely strong. Now, let me know how you feel in the comments below. We're in the zone, war room.
At higher weight classes. Crawford, by contrast, began his career at 135 pounds and is now leaping to 168, aiming to do what no man has done, become a three-division undisputed champion. While Bud has a longer reach and is actually taller, the key lies in how he carries the weight. Bone structure, punch resistance, and conditioning could make the difference. Crawford's mindset.
Crawford, huge fight September 13th. Who do you think's going to win that?
I'm pulling for Crawford in this one. I think people was underestimating his strength right now and his size. And I think he's a little more hungry than Canelo. So let's see though. But I like both guys, but I'm more a little closer to Crawford, so I want to see Crawford can take it.
Calculated confidence. When asked for his odds of winning, Crawford said 70%. Some viewed this as a lack of confidence. But in truth, it shows respect for the danger, for the moment, for the stakes. He knows how difficult this challenge is. And that's why he's taking it. Because that's what greatness demands. Conclusion, a defining moment.
He understands that he has to be smart. And I think with this one specifically, it ain't just about being smart. He knows he has to look like he's never looked before. Because again, if he doesn't, and he beats Canelo, everybody's just gonna say, well, that's Crawford. You know, so I think he knows that this is the performance of a lifetime and everything has to look right. He knows in order for it to look right, he can't just go out there and let the dog go. The dog is, you know, he gotta work his way up to the dog. Hey, show the clip real quick. I don't know if you showed it already, but this is the dog you're talking about right here, right? And so this is, I pulled this clip right here. I seen it on social media this morning.
Don't do that. That's what I'm saying.
And I pulled this clip, right? But this is Terence.
That's who he is.
He's not gonna swing on Canelo. He already know that part of the game. But what I asked you, were you ever trying to send a message to your opponents? He's letting you know, and it's no act. And that's what I really wanted to show, is that's not an act.
No.
That's not, there's 30 security guards.
I don't know, it feels a little contrived.
You think so?
I think a lot of people feel it's a little like.
Well, I'm glad you used a big word that most of us don't know.
Hey, I don't fight as good as you guys. I had to learn some big words, right, to make up for that.
Don't look it up. Just ignore.
You
what
need big words to get out of fights. You know, you need big words to get out of fights. But you know, okay. So case in point, our guy Hafey, sitting right there, producer extraordinaire. He had a picture of Terence Crawford in New York.
This is not just another fight. It's the type of bout fans crave. Terence Crawford is daring to be great. Canelo Alvarez is defending his throne. Both men understand what's at stake. Crawford's precision versus Canelo's power. Crawford's mind versus Canelo's might. Win or lose, Crawford's choice to take on this challenge already cements his status among the boldest fighters of his era. If I pull this off, Crawford said, they'll talk about me for decades. Whether he triumphs or falls short, history will remember that he tried. Live on DZN, September 13th. Crawford versus Canelo, greatness is on the line. Please like and subscribe my YouTube channel.